Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Kickstart Your Life with your host, Marc T. All right, we had to do a little rebooting, get things cracking again. Had a little technical difficulty, but we're excited about being here this evening. I want to share with you tonight from our Kickstart Your Life experience. So let me just get a couple of things all tweaked out right here in the studio, and we'll get right into what we're going to talk about this evening. So take some time to share and like. We are broadcasting live on 3 different platforms this evening. So wherever you find yourself, like, subscribe, follow, bring somebody in. Those of you that may not be familiar with me from my Kickstart Your Life page, about 7-8 years ago, I developed what I called 21 power steps to a better me, 21 power steps that would kickstart your life. And we have all of these available to you. So this is a relaunch of something that we have been doing for several years now. We want to inspire, we want to motivate, we want you to encourage you to be the best you that you can be. And so you can get us wherever you get your podcasts. We're simulcasting live on Facebook, on several platforms. And you can get us at anywhere you get your podcast. Here's a couple of places. Hey, we are at Apple Podcasts. We're at Spreaker. We're at Spotify. We're at iHeart. We're at Google, Cashbox, Deezer, and go on and on and on. Wherever you get your podcast, you should be able to find us. So again, like, share, subscribe, do whatever it is that you do so we can get an audience to be involved in some of the information that we're releasing this evening. So tonight, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be talking about, and I kind of wrestled with this title a little bit. Originally, when I began to write this, I began to write this from the standpoint of how to deal or how to transform a hostile working environment, how to transform a hostile working environment. And then as I began to write it and develop it, I began to see some different elements that I had put in here. And so I began to talk about, how the power of a great team. And then I said, somebody may be great, but they may not be great for you. And so I finally settled on this title for this evening is The Power of the Right Team, the power of the right team. And I'm still going to deal with aspects of how to transform or deal with a hostile working environment. All right. So let's get right into it. Again, welcome everybody. This is Marc May, and this is Kickstart Your Life. Now, one of the things that I want to start with, and I've got several points that we're going to touch on. Well, I want to welcome everybody that's in on Facebook, the audience that I can see. Thank you so much for being on. I see Felix is on. I see Crystal is on. Thank you for being on with me today. Now, number one, when you are developing or setting up your team, some of the things I want to, if you are the leader, if you're the boss, one of the things that you need to look at or examine is what type of leader or what type of boss are you? All right, so let's throw that out there first. What type of leader or what type of boss are you? Okay, and then from there, what I want you to do, number one, evaluate your management. Evaluate your management. Evaluate your supervisors. Evaluate your management and evaluate your supervisors. Begin to discover what type of leaders you are putting in place to work for you. Because the type of leader that you put in place to work for you will determine the type of workforce environment you're going to have. The type of leader that you put in place to work for you will determine what type of workplace environment you are going to have. So that is very important. And we're going to get down into a few leadership styles and in just a moment. Now, here's another thing. What is the vision for your team? What is the vision for your team? If you don't have a vision for the team, how can you develop the right team? So you have to have a vision for your team in order to develop the right team. Remember in my introduction, I was saying I was going to entitle this The Power of a Great Team. But then I decided to title it The Power of the Right Team. Because someone can be great, or a team could be great, but that team may not be great for you. Your team, that team may not be great in that particular environment. Now, next, we said, what is the vision for your team? After that, what are the goals for your team? What are the goals? Clearly define the goals that you have for your team. You know, many times in workplace environments, you have people that you may ask them to do something. And one of the first things that you will hear out of people's mouths, and they may not say this to the supervisor or the leader, the manager. Some people are bold and they may say this, but what you usually will hear is something like this. That's not in my job description. So clearly define what your goals are for your team, and that your team clearly understands what their job description is, what their job requires of them. And one thing that I advise people about, no matter what level of employment that they may be in, learn everything that you can about that particular job. Or learn everything you can about other jobs that are surrounding you. You make yourself valuable when you begin to learn things that are outside your regular scope of work. I always advise people as well, if your job offers trainings, different types of trainings, take those trainings because they could come in handy later. All right, let's move on. Now let's talk about the leadership and different leadership styles just for a little bit. I think leaders can be tough but fair. I think you can be tough but fair. I remember when I was working in a particular leadership position, my boss that was over me at one point said, well, you want everybody to like you. You want everybody to be your friend. And he was one of the other types of bosses that I'm going to get to in a moment, or leaders. Okay. So it wasn't that I wanted everybody to like me. My leadership style was different. My leadership style was different. So you have to also understand people's leadership styles. Okay. You can be tough, but you can be fair. You also can be, you can be kind and caring and still be a good boss. That doesn't mean that you are a pushover. That doesn't mean that you're a softie. That doesn't mean that you are a punk. But it means that you are kind, you are fair. All right. One of the 21 power steps that we haven't yet gotten to, but there's one as we get a little bit further down, is the power of kind, the power of kindness, the power of being kind to people. But that's down the road. All right. Let's look at this. You don't have to be a ball buster. OK, you don't have to be that person that everybody in the work environment hates. You don't have to be a ball buster. You don't have to have that pit bull type of leadership to get people to do what you ask of them to do. And some people are stuck in those types of leadership styles. They're ball busters. They are pit bulls. And what I found out that the pit bull style and this ball buster style of leadership is not very productive. And it will create disgruntled employees. All right. All right. Let's look at something else. Here's some advice if you're a leader. Get to know something about the people that work for you. Get to know something about the people that work for you. Never appear to be arrogant or appear to be better than the people that work for you. All right. Don't give off that type of air. All right, here we go. So get to know something about the people that work for you. When people think that you care about them, when people think that you are interested in them, they perform better. When people think you're interested in their life, they perform better. You know, and I know there's the attitude where people say, well, you know, it's just a job. I'm just here because it's just a job. Give me my check, leave me alone. You know, and I understand that attitude. But also what I understand that if you don't appreciate what you have, you can't get what you want. If you don't appreciate what you already have, you can't get what you want. In other words, you'll find yourself locked in to maybe what may be a dead-end job, what may be a job where you're not happy. You may get locked in. So you have to appreciate what you have. All right, let's see. I've got a few more things. Listen to complaints. Listen to complaints. There may be some things that can be corrected that you have not observed, that you may have not noticed. My next one. Never lead with fear. Never lead with fear. I don't think it's a good idea to lead with fear. Threatening people that they're going to lose their jobs, that you're not going to be able to do this or do that. There should be a level, of maturity where you don't have to use fear as a weapon to lead. All right, I've got a couple of more because I'm trying to wrap this thing up. Next, respect equals respect. Respect equals respect. If you want someone to respect you, you should, in turn, respect them. Extend that courtesy. All right, let's see. Here is the last one because I'm pressing up against my time clock. Be considerate of others. Be considerate of those who have families. Be considerate of the workload that you require someone to carry. So be considerate. Be understanding. And that, again, that doesn't make you a softy. That doesn't make you a pushover. That doesn't make you a weak leader. Not at all. I believe that it will make you a leader that people will respect and follow. If you haven't seen the previous or listened to the previous episode, The Power of a Visionary, I recommend you that you go back and you look at and listen to The Power of a Visionary, because a visionary has the ability to cause people. Well, visionary is one that sees what no one else sees. One who sees what no one else sees and possesses the ability to influence people to follow them with commitment and money. Again, a visionary is one who sees what no one else sees and possesses the ability to influence people to follow them with commitment and with money. And you use your influence. Well, listen, I'm pressing up against the clock, but I thank you for tuning in to Kickstart Your Life. Again, I'm your host, Marc T. I'm broadcasting on Facebook Live and also anywhere where you get your podcasts. So thank you. I want you to like, I want you to share with your friends, with your followers. And until next time, this has been your host, Marc T. This is Kickstart Your Life. And I want you to remember, you're never too young or too old to kickstart your life. Peace.